national decision-making processes. Sri Lanka has lived through decades of a tragic violence and conflict. We have successfully defeated terrorism and brought the conflict to an end. You now stand at a moment of historic opportunity to win the hearts and heal the wounds across all sections of society. Recent elections in Sri Lanka have reflected the collective voice of the nation, the hope for change, reconciliation, and unity. The steps that you have taken in recent times are bold and admirable. They represent a new beginning. I am confident of a future of Sri Lanka. The path ahead is a choice that Sri Lanka has to make. And it is a collective responsibility of all sections of the society and of all political streams in the country. But I can assure you of this, for India, the unity and integrity of Sri Lanka are paramount. It is rooted in our interests. It stems from our own fundamental beliefs in this principle. Honorable Speaker and distinguished members, my vision of an ideal neighborhood is one in which trade, investments, technology, ideas, and people flow easily across borders. When partnerships in the region are formed with the ease of routine. In India, the growth momentum has been restored. India has become the fastest growing major economy in the world. The world sees India as the new frontier of economic opportunity. But our neighbors should have the first claim on India. And I again repeat, the first claim on India is to our neighbors, to Sri Lanka. I'll be happy if India serves as a catalyst in the progress of our neighbors. In our region, Sri Lanka has the potential to be our strongest economic partner. We will work with you to address your concerns, to boost trade and make it more balanced. India's trade environment is becoming more and more open. Sri Lanka should not fall behind others in this competitive world. That is why we should conclude an ambitious, comprehensive economic partnership agreement. India can also be a natural source of investments for exports to India and elsewhere, and to build your infrastructure. We have made good progress today. Let us work together to harness the vast potential of ocean economy. Our two nations must also take the lead in increasing cooperation in the South Asian region and the linked BMISTIC region. Connecting this vast region by land and sea, our two countries can become engines of regional prosperity. I also assure you of India's full commitment to development partnership with Sri Lanka. We see this as a responsibility of a friend and a neighbor. India has committed $1.6 billion in development assistance. Today, we have committed further assistance of up to $380 million to the railway sector. We will continue our development partnership. We will be guided by your government, and we will do so what the same level of transparency that we expect in our own country. Last month, we signed the agreement on cooperation in peaceful use of the nuclear energy. More than anywhere else in the region, I see enormous potential to expand cooperation with Sri Lanka in areas like agriculture, education, health, science and technology, and space. Indeed, we are limited only by our imagination. We hope that Sri Lanka will take full benefit of India's satellite for the SAARC region. This should be in space by December 2016. People are at the heart of our relationship. When we connect people, bonds between nations become stronger. That is why we have decided to extend the visa on arrival facility to Sri Lankan citizens. We will also increase connectivity between our countries. We will strengthen ties of culture and religion. Last month, we announced reduction in fees for Sri Lankan nationals visiting National Museum in Delhi to see the Kapilavastu relics. We will bring our shared Buddhist heritage closer to you through an exhibition. Together, we will develop our Buddhist and Ramayana trails. My birthplace, Vadnagar, was an international center of Buddhist learning in ancient times. Excavations have revealed a hostel for 2,000 students in plan to redevelop the center. Mr. Speaker, a future of prosperity requires a strong foundation of security for our countries and peace and stability in the region. The security of our two countries is indivisible. Equally, our shared responsibility for our maritime neighborhood is clear. India and Sri Lanka are too close to look away from each other, nor can we be insulated from one another. Our recent histories have shown that we suffer together and we are more effective when we work with each other. Our cooperation helped deal with the devastation of tsunami in 2004. As a Chief Minister, I was pleased to share our experience in reconstruction after the Bhuj earthquake in 2001. Our cooperation is also integral to our success in combating terrorism and extremism. For both of us, local threats remain, but we see threats arising in new forms and from new sources. We are witnessing globalization of terrorism. The need of our cooperation has never been stronger than today. The Indian Ocean is critical to the security and prosperity of our two countries, and we can be more successful in achieving these goals if we work together, build a climate of trust and confidence, and we remain sensitive to each other's interests. We deeply value our security cooperation with Sri Lanka. We should expand the maritime security cooperation between India, Sri Lanka, Maldives to include others in the Indian Ocean area. I often say that the course of the 21st century would be determined by the currents of the Indian Ocean. Shaping its direction is a responsibility for the countries in the region. We are two countries at the crossroads of the Indian Ocean. Your leadership and our partnership will be vital for building a peaceful, secure, stable and prosperous maritime neighborhood. In our deeply interconnected lives, it is natural to have differences. Sometimes it touches the lives of ordinary people. We have the openness in our dialogue, the strength of our human values, and the goodwill in our relationship to resolve them. Mr. Speaker, Sri Lanka and India are at a moment of a great opportunity and responsibility for realizing the dreams of our people. This is also a time for renewal in our relationship, for a new beginning and new vigor in our partnership. We have to ensure that our proximity always translates into closeness. We were honored that President Sirisena chose India as its first destination last month. I am honored to be his first guest here. This is how it should be between neighbors. Tomorrow, we'll go to Talai Mannar to flag off the train to Madhu Road. This is part of the old India-Lanka rail link. I recall the lines of a famous song, Sindhu Nidyani Misai, composed by the greatest nationalist poet Subramaniam Bharati in the early 20th century. Singala Tiva Kin Vakyanora Palam Ammai Pom. We shall construct a bridge of Sri Lanka. I have come with the hope of building this bridge. A bridge that resets and strong pillars of our shared inheritance of shared values and vision of mutual support and solidarity, of friendly exchanges and productive cooperation, and above all, belief in each other and our shared destiny. Thank you once again for the honor to be with you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.